How does one face certain death? One man survived a horrific car crash that cost him half his skull, but not his life. Join us here each week for amazing survival tales of superhuman strength. Find out why these people refuse to succumb, but instead show us how they survive. You are looking into the face of Michelle Dusson. Michelle is about to become one of the luckiest little girls in the world. Unbeknownst to her, as the final passenger secured her seatbelt, she is about to become one of 5 to survive the crash of American Airlines Flight 965 in the Colombian jungle. Aboard the plane are Michelle's parents and her brother, who she is competing with for the window seat. Now maybe it was an omen, but Flight 965 had been delayed for takeoff from Miami International Airport that morning for Cali, Colombia, its final destination. Instead, that ill-fated flight would crash 44 miles short of its destination into the side of El Diluvio Mountain near the town of Buga, killing 151 passengers and all 8 crew members upon impact. This remote mountainous region was not accessible by road nor foot, which left 5 sole survivors, including Michelle, clinging to life overnight until the Colombian military could launch a helicopter rescue the following morning. Michelle would recount later her immediate thoughts after achieving consciousness following the crash. She says she was really thirsty. She began screaming for help in Spanish and recalls her dad was trying to get her out of the wreckage, but she was in a lot of pain and couldn't move. She didn't know it at the time, but she was buried underground from her waist down and had been stuck with her seatbelt on for 13 hours. Michelle, pictured here as an adult, says she still has the seatbelt marks on her legs today. Michelle states that, "I guess when I crashed, my legs plunged into the ground. I think it was the warmth of being half buried that kept me alive, because a lot of other passengers died from hypothermia. When the rescue team and paramedics found us, they created a makeshift stretcher out of parts of the plane wreckage. They took me down the mountain by foot to a helicopter, and I was transferred by air to the hospital." She says, "When I got there, it was chaos. I just wanted my mom. I wanted her to be there holding my hand. I was so scared," she says. 5 passengers, all seated within 2 rows of each other, survived the initial impact. In addition to the human survivors, a puppy dog, pictured here, which had been in a carrier and a cargo hold at the time of the crash, survived the accident. Michelle further stated about the crash that nobody was talking to me about where my mom was. "I kept asking my family, but they kept saying she was on a trip and would be back. Eventually they told me that my mom, my brother, and my cousin were in heaven, and that my dad and I were the only 2 of 4 survivors out of 155 people on board." The 5th survivor, who ultimately succumbed to his injuries in the hospital, had landed on a branch of a tree and lay there overnight until he was rescued the next morning. We leave you now with an actual interview of Michelle's father shortly after his recovery in the hospital that week.
Movilización especial para el traslado. Después de que se
Okay, my feeling now, I feel so bad, I don't feel me good right now. Because, as you know, you must know that I have something in my life that have died, Then I love them too much. And when you love something, if you lose it, so you know how you're gonna feel after you lose it. That's the way I feel right now.
Después de que se trajo en el helicóptero y llegó acá, se detectó que tenía fractura.
Okay, so I was very excited before I saw her because I don't believe that she was alive. That's why when I saw her yesterday, I give thanks to God. I give thanks to El Señor, like we say in Spanish.
What's the first thing you said to him?
¡Yo pelado! ¡Venga!